Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, and underline is Wootini here with another Gay Gamer video podcast for you. This week I went to the movies and I saw The Conjuring Last Rites, which I'm not a huge fan of the series, but I thought, whatever, there's not really anything else out, so let's go see that. And I saw it in IMAX because why not? I wouldn't spend extra money to pay to see it in IMAX, but with my AMC A-list, I can see things in whatever format I want, and it's still covered in my subscription. So, IMAX it is. This is the big grand finale to the Conjuring movie series, and it is grand. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes long. It's way too long. And not being a huge fan, I was just sort of disappointed by it. If you are a huge fan, you might love it, or you might be really disappointed in it. I don't know which way you would swing. I was just sort of like, because it spends so long. Like, there's a prologue with the Warrens, the young Warrens, that sets up like elements that will be, brought back around by the end. And then it spends like an hour, like, either with the setting up everything, like setting up like spending time with the Warrens and their daughter and her boyfriend, and then also this family in Pennsylvania with a haunted house being tormented and scary things happening. And it's like over an hour into the movie well over an hour into the movie before the Warrens even get to that house. The problem is that despite all of this setup, there's 8 people in this haunted house, and they don't bother to establish any real characters or anything to care about. So it's like, whatever. They do spend a lot of time on the Warrens, but you already care about the Warrens, so whatever. Why are you spending so much time on them? Spend some time on the haunted family, make us care about them, but no. So, like, literally the only time that I had an emotional reaction was when the dog was in jeopardy. The family's dog, I was like, don't hurt the dog! That was it. That was the only time I cared about what was happening on screen. Because it takes so long to get the Warrens to merge the two storylines and get the Warrens to the house, and then it's a very loose adaptation of one of their cases, because they have to tie it all into the Warrens and their family and their history and everything to make it a big grand finale. So they had a whole lot of stuff, because I looked it up afterwards. But like, once they get to the house, there's not a whole lot of time left in the movie, so everything happens like really, really quickly, and nothing really lands because they don't spend enough time on it, and it just feels so random and nonsensical. And then you have this big climax, and you're like, and that was it. Okay, whatever. It's not particularly. There's a few creepy moments, like there's a few creepy visuals that they throw in here and there. There's a lot of jump scares and scary things and whatever, but I think only a few of them worked for me, and only one jump scare because the sound effect was so loud that I was like, ah, and then that's the only reason. So yeah, meh, not a fan. As for games, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on Disney Dreamlight Valley, as I mentioned last episode, because I've basically burned through the Star Path so quickly. Because now you have to wait a week before they add like 3 new Star Path duties that you can do weekly, and they're parceling them out. So that's sort of like whatever. So I just go in and I get my daily chest of moonstones, and then I still need to finish the 1 Star Path duty where you have to get like 7,500 Dreamlight, and that's a lot. So in order to try to speed that up, I've been doing the friendship quests for Joy and Sadness so that I can get more Dreamlight from doing those quests, including one random one where you had to take Joy wanted to brighten up the Forgotten Lands with like this glittery arch and flowers, and it was like, okay. I don't like Joy. She's very, very irritating. She's very irritating, just like in the movie. And then they also had a right now like a very limited time thing where they're doing memory quest, like a mini memory quest, where like it's the same ones as before, but I already got all the other in and out memories. So this is the one new one where you just have to find Riley's phone by the restaurant every day and get a bunch of memories, and I did them. And I actually, this time, as opposed to the last time with the Cheshire Cat thing, where I kept getting coins instead of a memory and I couldn't finish that one last piece of the puzzle, this one I finished the puzzle no problem, and I got an old lady capybara. It's very weird looking. I don't know what to do with it. So yeah, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time on that which was good because, like I said last episode, Nikki was about to drop their new update, the music season update, which also includes the home update. So like the first thing is they're like, oh, you should go to the Sea of Stars. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I go to the Sea of Stars, and there's this guy, and he's all like, blah, 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 and he's telling me his story, and I don't care. And then he's like, I want to give you this reward. I'm going to give you this floating island with a house on it. And I'm like, okay. So we go there, and it's gorgeous, and thankfully it's all built with beautiful gardens, and it looks gorgeous. And the inside is partially decorated, so that's nice. So I didn't have to like actually construct anything or build anything or craft anything right off the bat, which is good because it turns out it's extremely complicated. Also, I think you can do that later when you raise your levels. Then you can start building construction thing on your house. Basically, there's these like floaty things that like help you, and they're like here, like they're teaching you the tutorial for how to like manage your home, and like the whole thing, it was like, plant these flowers now, do this now, do that, and like walking me through it. It was like I kept getting the little tutorial screens, and it's like so many new gameplay elements and rules, and I was like, this is a lot. And then eventually they're like, okay, come in the house, and here's how you craft a piece of furniture. And then of course you craft the piece of furniture, you're supposed to craft a little chair for Momo that matches the big chair for you. So you craft a little chair for Momo. I don't remember what it required to craft, but I had it, so it didn't matter. But when you craft it, just like other free-to-play games, it takes time to craft it. It was like, this will take 5 minutes to craft this chair. But you can spend like, I want to say stellarate, and that's not right, but you can spend like whatever the home currency is that you get apparently for selling plants. You can spend that to speed up the crafting process. It's why I didn't like Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, because somebody's like, hey, can you craft me this thing? And it's like, yes, I will craft you this thing for my friend. But then it's like, okay, this is going to take 12 hours, and you can either wait and come back tomorrow, or you can spend real money to speed it up. And I'm like, I'm not spending real money to speed up the game. Like, no, that's stupid. I'll come back tomorrow. And then I ended up not coming back tomorrow anymore because I was like, I don't like this. So here I was like, okay, it's fine. And I just spent like a couple just to kind of speed it up, just to give me like a minute. And then I sat there for a minute and waited while the bar filled up. And then it was like, okay, now place it in the house. And I placed the chair in the house, and I'm like, okay, and there you go. There's a little chair for Momo. But he doesn't go sit in it or anything, so like, what's the point? And then they were like, okay, let's raise your level, and then you raise your construction level, and then you can like build more things and get more stuff out of the catalog or whatever. But I don't care. I just don't. I was like, what is the point of any of this? And then when they got to the point where in the tutorial where like the next day I did this over the course of a couple of days, and then I go in, and then they're like, okay, like let's plant this vine on this trellis out in the garden. And it's clearly the vine, when it is grown and flowering or whatever, it will allow you to see other people's homes. I don't know. I haven't done it yet, so I don't know how it works. I'm assuming it's like in Animal Crossing when you dream of another person's island and you can just go and visit it and talk to people, but you can't actually do anything or buy anything because it's a dream. It's not real. It's not like actually visiting a friend's home. Though I would expect that you can also visit your friend's home and actually like hang out with them and stuff. But I also think you could probably they should do it the same way as Animal Crossing. I don't know. We won't find out for a while because A, I don't care, and B, I'm not going back. I don't know when I'm going to go back because when I planted the vine, they're like, okay, that's going to take 12 hours to fully grow. And I'm like, oh, well, I'll just come back tomorrow. Except I didn't come back tomorrow. I haven't been back since. And it's been days. Because I don't care. This whole home thing, it's weird. Because it's very much like in Animal Crossing and also Disney Dreamlight Valley. Like, you have a home. And it's like, whatever. And I don't care about the interior of the home. Like, I decorated my Animal Crossing house, and then as you would expand your house, it gives you a new room, so you figure out, oh, I want to make this the kitchen, and you fill it with kitchen stuff. I haven't changed the decorating inside my Animal Crossing house in like a year or more, probably. I used to change the back room occasionally, but now it's just been the astrological furniture for like ever. Disney, I did add a second floor and more rooms, but as I was decorating these rooms, I realized I wasn't going back to them. Like, what's the point of going back to them? Like, I have this beautifully decorated room, but why? You can go in there and take a picture. And so that's why I basically have like a room that's like a mishmash, because I use it as like a set when there's Dream Snaps challenges, so that they're like, go and be a pirate. So I make a set that looks like a pirate ship with all pirate furniture and stuff, and then I dress like a pirate and stand in front of it and take my picture. That's it. Like, there's no other reason. I care about the exterior of the house because I see that as I go by it. So I will change the exterior occasionally, but the interiors are like whatever. But the thing is like, as opposed to Animal Crossing or Disney Dreamlight Valley, in Infinity Nikki, your home is on this floating island in the Sea of Stars that you have to teleport to, or ride the boat to, I guess. It's not in Wishfield. If it was in Wishfield, I might be more inclined to like at least decorate the outside so it looks pretty, because I might pass by it sometimes. But up on this floating island in the middle of nowhere, I don't care, and I have to actually go there in order to experience it. And like, I'd rather just play the story and adventure in Wishfield and play the actual game. I'm not super into like decorating and building and crafting and constructing. That's not my thing with the video games. But it's not forced on you. It's not like a game where they force you to craft things. It's a totally optional thing if you want to go do it. So I don't know if I'm going to go back or not. I went to go and do the story, because the story, there's this music troupe full of singers and dancers and musicians that is visiting Wishfield, and being Infinity Nikki, it's never that simple. There's this whole thing, there's this glowing suitcase like in Pulp Fiction, except in this case, you get sucked into the suitcase, and it's the box theater. It's this tiny theater with like little performers in it that aren't quite human, and it's very weird. And then it's very cool because it gets toppled on its side, and then you have to like platform your way out while also fighting and avoiding these like creepy mannequin things out of Silent Hill. That was enjoyable. The problem with the story so far is that like they set things up in the beginning, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is what's going on. And then as Nikki finds more clues, she's like, oh, so this is what's going on. And it's like, well, yes, the player who's paying attention has already figured this. It's been so obvious what's going on from jump that it was just a little frustrating that it took so long for Nikki to start to figure out what's going on, and the game to like move it along and stop finding clues because we already know what's going on, the player anyway. But it's fun. And the story is just so much better than crafting furniture and decorating a house. To me, anyway. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who are thoroughly enjoying buying their furniture and decorating their house. Although there was an apology letter from Infold, because apparently when they first released it, like I hadn't even been yet, but everyone else jumped on it like that night. And I'm like, oh, I'll play it the next day. But that night, everybody jumped on it, and the next day they already had an apology letter out because people were complaining about how they're using the same diamonds that you would use to buy outfits in the gacha pulls to get furniture, and they're like, it should be a different currency, this isn't fair, blah, 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 and people were complaining, and they're like, we hear you, we'll fix it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I haven't bought anything yet, and I'm not gonna. but I'm sure a lot of people are spending real money to buy pretty furniture to decorate their house. So at some point, I could see myself going back to my home and then like checking out the Vine and like visiting other people's homes if I could see some random homes and just to see what people have done with it, because I'm sure some of them have like really put some effort and money into it, and it's like impressive. So that would be kind of interesting to see out of curiosity. Also, right before I left, they were like, you know, I looked at the map of your floating island, and of course it's heart-shaped, but it's also got like a ton of empty space that you haven't even unlocked yet. So I'm like, oh, like, what is all of that for? I don't know. I may never find out. It depends if I go back or not. I don't know. Oh, also though, before I go, at the end of the week, I was able to squeeze in a little bit of Dragon Age Veilguard. And I decided that I'm running out of time to finish this before Ghost of Yote comes out. So I feel like I'm not going to do all of the like random side quests at the bottom of the quest list. I need to focus on, though there is one that I want to do. I want to still find that last wolf statue of Solus's so that we can get all the memories. Because that's like story, you know. With the rest of the stuff, I'm like, I don't care about helping out the factions to like get them on my side. It's like, whatever. I want to do all the companion quests. So I did the Lucanus companion quest. I did another one of his. And at the end of it, it felt like the end of his companion quest, and then it turns out it was, because I got a pop-up, and now he is a hero of the Veilguard, and he is on side, and he's good to go for the final battle. So, yay! So I am making some decent progress towards reaching the end of this game, I hope, because it's already been like 50 or 60 hours, and it just keeps going. It's a big game. So that's it for this episode. Come back next time. Maybe I've gone back to my home in Infinity Nikki, maybe not. I don't know. You'll have to come back and find out. Bye!